Hey, I'm live. I've been live for like 3 seconds. Hope everyone's doing well. Jenga, the crowd, Jenga. I hope everyone's doing well. I already said that. So this is Jenga. This is my friend Lefty over here, just off screen. Oh, there he is. And here's Righty hanging out. And of course, here is Gun Cup, Gun Mug. He's got it's gun, it's mug, it's wonderful mug gun mug, and this is what I'm doing. All right, I'm gonna start with my left hand, and see how well I do with my left hand. I just posted a comedy short. Well, it's supposed to be comedy, at least. I mean, you know, it's art, right? Comedy, it's kind of an art. So if you think it's funny, then it's comedy. And if you don't think it's comedy, it's abstract art, performance art. That's how we'll call it. That's what I'll say, at least. So I just posted that maybe an hour ago or so. Oh. Dun, 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 dun. Look at that. Just like burning through the blocks today. Everyone just burning through them. Kind of, sort of. So just to let you know, whenever I do a comedy short, like the one I just did, my brain starts thinking, all right, Andy, what should be your next comedy short after that? And then it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I do stuff that, you know, when, hey, James Henry, hello, how are you? Glad to see you today or this afternoon. Did you see the comedy short I did a little while ago? I'm not unhappy with it. Not unhappy. Am I ecstatic about it? I'm not ecstatic about it, but you know. Hey, Tobin. Hope you're doing well. I'm not complaining. But it's still only within the first few minutes of playing Jenga, so maybe I'll start complaining later on. I don't know. You know, it's been my experience. I was in marriage therapy. It's going to be one of those stories, by the way. I was in marriage therapy for about 10 or 15 years, off and on, 20-year marriage. And I discovered that in lieu of anything to talk about, there is a tendency for people to complain. People, not me, and maybe, but not me in this situation. So if you go to therapy, you know, like marriage therapy, couples therapy, however you want to call it, that there was no real issue to discuss. I'd say that there is a tendency for the other or a person to come up with issues to discuss. Now that would be something worth talking about, doing a comedy show about, is about my various journeys in marriage therapy. I met Yum. Hey, oh hey James Henry, don't worry about it, dude. You know you're solid. You know hey Kendra, and imaginary God. I don't know if I've mentioned condolences about your dad and everything. You know, when I do the morning show, I'm doing 50 things at once, and I'm not really focused on everything as well as I should be. This is the problem with being a one person operation, of course. Here, other channels have like a team of people working on stuff. Me, not so much. I'm just one person trying to muddle their way through any particular show. I was told as a kid, it's not worth complaining because no one wants to hear it. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Tobin. That's true. You guys have probably heard this joke before, right? All right, so there's an old Jewish man on the train, and he was going, "Oh, I'm so thirsty. I'm so thirsty. I'm so thirsty. I'm so thirsty." Eventually, someone gets up, gets him a glass of water, brings it over to him, gives it to him. Man drinks the water down, gives the man the glass back. The old man goes, "Ah, I was so thirsty. I was so thirsty. I was so thirsty." Keeping it small is keeping it real. Yeah, so I don't know. I think they're. Oh no, 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 not this early, not this early, this early. See, I start talking and how could I do that? Oh, that was so under my average. But that's what happens. I start telling jokes, I get unfocused, and the game does not benefit from that. Kapow is right. Like old school Batman 1966 Kapow. Wow, that was brutal. So another story, if we're going to talk about my 10 to 15 years off and on of marriage therapy. What did the water say to the Jewish family? I have no idea. Imaginary God. I have no idea. What did the waiter say to the Jewish family? No idea. Is anything okay? Is anything okay? That's good. I like that. All right, let's try. Now I got to find the Jenga sleeve. I put it over here. I'll tell you one of the more bizarre instances of me going. We were probably in marriage therapy for a solid, I don't know, number of years, long time. And then we were in and out of marriage therapy off and on for a total, a long time. One of the bizarre experiences was going out for breakfast before therapy, and then having what I would say an emotional exchange, and then having an emotional change, or going to therapy first, having, and this is code for emotional exchange, getting yelled at, and then going out for lunch afterwards. Afternoon, Derek. Why did Moses lead the Jews to the desert? I don't know, James Henry. So you're just tuning in. My first attempt at doing Jenga, failed spectacularly. So this is still the joke, right? We're talking about, what did you hope to achieve from marriage counseling? Well, that's a very good question. Did I seek happiness? I know. So basically, I wanted not to feel like she was driving a spike through my head, ultimately. If you've been watching me do my thing, it's like at times I have very low standards. Not low standards, but I set the bar low, too low sometimes. I wasn't really looking for happiness. I guess maybe I was white knuckling my way through the relationship. That's it. Maybe I was white knuckling my way through the relationship. Why did Moses lead the Jews to the desert? Because he didn't want to take them into town. I see that. I see that. That's funny. All right. So lefty failed in terms of doing the Jenga. We're going to try to do righty. We're going to see if righty can make things right. That's what. It's funny though, when you're in an unhappy relationship, right? It colors everything you do. It gives you the perception that maybe happiness in and of itself is not really attainable. And I thought that for quite a while, actually. I don't know if it was because of the relationship. It could be, I don't know. Good afternoon, Jess M. I don't know if I ever told you guys this story, right? I was over at the Guggenheim in New York City. Now, New York City is only a few hours away from Boston. So I would take, back in the day, I would just take the bus. I would take the bus from Boston into New York City and, spend an extended weekend, maybe 3 days there. And it was one year that there was this incredible snowstorm. And I just got into New York City like maybe the day after the snow. So there was still a ton of snow on the ground. And I was walking over to the Guggenheim Museum, and it was a long trek. I was on the other side of the park of the Central Park, and I had to cut over from one side of the park to the other side of the park. And like I said, there was a lot of snow on the ground. It was a pain in the butt to get there. So after trudging through the snow, I finally get over to the Guggenheim. I take off my jacket, give it to the coat check person, pay the exorbitant price to walk in. And if you've ever been to the Guggenheim in New York City, there's the big drum. You walk around and there's big corkscrews, so to speak, of a ramp, the ramp. And under normal circumstances, on the sides, there's art. There's paintings on the side of this ramp that you walk up in like a corkscrew fashion. Because it's a big drum, and you walk around going up, and there are side chambers and everything, side galleries. And I noted, and I was still pretty out of it. I was pretty out of it that day because I just, been schlepping through the snow for a long time. Yeah, it is awesome, James Henry. So I'm walking up the ramp, not really sure what's going on, wondering why there isn't any art around. And this little girl who's about maybe 12 years old, she comes up to me and she goes, "What is your definition of progress?" I said, "Oh, well, that's a good question. My definition of progress is escaping the miserable." When you think about progress, a lot of humankind's journey is escaping plague, natural disasters, horrible diseases. And then I went on for about maybe 5 minutes about, this is when the AIDS epidemic was like crashing through sub-Saharan Africa. And I was talking about death rates in Uganda from AIDS. And so it's like, basically we're both walking up the ramp together. And then we meet this person who's a little bit older. He's probably a college student. She turns to him and she goes, "This is Andy. He believes progress is the escape from the miserable." And then she lists down bullet point by bullet point by bullet point everything that I just said, about the AIDS epidemic in sub-Saharan Africa, the Black Death, probably something about World War II, stuff like that. And I was just shocked. I was just shocked hearing my own shtick back at me. And then she just goes skipping down the ramp. And I felt like calling out to her, "It's not that bad. It's not that bad." But that was part of the exhibit. The exhibit, and this is the best exhibit I've ever went to at the Guggenheim, is this discussion about the nature of progress. And every few feet, as you went up the ramp, there'd be someone a little bit older. So there was a young person, really young person, 12-year-old, then there was a college student, and then there was someone who was in their 30s, and then someone, who was older, like in their 60s at the top of the ramp, talking about the nature of progress. And it wasn't anything I expected. And it still resonates with me till today. I've been to the Guggenheim a bunch of times, and by far, that is the one exhibit that I recall the most. Makes life miserable when a relationship sours. Oh yeah, yeah. This is true. Well, you're right about that, James Henry. Progress is trying to be a better person today than you were yesterday. Yeah. Two steps forward, one step back a lot of the time. At least that's my personal experience. And the thing is, right? The thing is that progress isn't linear either, right? It isn't a straight line. It's like punctuated equilibrium, right? Punctuated equilibrium from evolution. So you progress, you plateau for a while, and then you progress up. Hopefully, you progress up a bit, and then you plateau for a while. So I think it's important, or at least this is what I found, is not to beat yourself up if you're not progressing as fast as you'd like. All right, there we go here. Oh, wait, a little spinny action here. There we go. I don't know. It's when things start getting iffy, right? I have a lot of progress to make. Yeah. So I want to tell you something about. If you were here yesterday, I was talking about how my grandfather died, right? That whole experience. I don't want to bring the party down, but from me talking about it with you all here, I've been able to think of a way to adequately, maybe not make it funny, but a way to transcribe that or translate that into something I can write about, something that would be entertaining and without being a complete, being too depressing. So thank you for those of you who were here yesterday. I did have a creative breakthrough after the stream yesterday. I'll probably write it up on my Medium, on Medium and on the blog at some point. The Impala, indeed. Do you ride a bicycle, Andy? Funny thing about bicycles, well, you can see the stationary bike back there. And that's actually how I hurt my back the other day. I was just riding the bicycle, and then I got off it kind of weird and tweaked my back. It took me a long time to learn how to ride a bicycle because of the disability, because of my muscular issues, my coordination issues. But yes, I can ride a bicycle. I can ride a bicycle. Yeah, it's the Impala story. So yeah, had a creative breakthrough on that, and that's. I had a breakthrough, but the tower broke down. Oh no, that was something there. I will tell you this about riding a bicycle. I have gotten a bit more cautious. Riding is easy way to release tension. You're right about that. When I was a kid, growing up in Brockton, and even though Brockton, I lived on the frontier. Brockton is a relatively, places of it violent. And I lived kind of like in a frontier area in Brockton. One street down, it got dicey. One street up was mostly suburb. Was very suburb. But I rode my bike quite a bit when I was a kid. Oh, well, there's a point that you say to yourself, I want to try to keep it up. And then there's and I'm going to tell you something stupid. Those faces that I made when I did that short earlier today about the healthy eating, I was quite happy with the my chewing faces. I chewed a long time. I have 2 American-made bikes, Specialized, and a Cannondale. See, I don't know what a Cannondale is. It makes me think there's a gun on it or something. Hey, Blazing. Hope you're doing well. Oh yeah, you missed 2 actually. My Jenga game today is trash. I'm just talking too much apparently. But don't worry, there's more. There'll be more. I'm just reloading. This is me just reloading and getting another tower going. Yeah, you know, I mean, I've never had a problem with, you know, a couple of my friends. One of my friends, well, a work buddy, he was a bike racer. He raced bikes for a while. He was a bit younger than I am. Now I'm missing a block. How could I miss a block? He must be underground. Nope, I found the block. Maybe I should have prayed a little bit harder and it would have appeared faster. All right. I will say one thing that's made me a lot calmer is that there is a big difference in the news cycle with Donald J. Trump as president and on Twitter, and without Donald J. Trump as president and him being off Twitter. It is a whole different, at least for me, vibe. All right, we'll start. Left hand. Try to get some coffee in me. By getting Trump's acquittal, yeah. Yeah, you know, I mean, yeah. I've tried to spin the best out of that crap show there, the Senate trial, but it's difficult. It's difficult medicine to take. See, it's so difficult. This freaking thing just dropped again. Wow. I think I'm getting some. I don't think this is becoming as much of a calming activity. See, it just shows you when you have a natural gift, as I do, for anger, you can make any activity anger focused. Maybe that's my gift to the world. The man is an abomination. I hope he gets buried in lawsuits. Yeah, I know, right? Complete crap show today. Well, maybe, you know, I have been busy. That being said, it's been a very creative time for me today. I did the morning show. I wrote a post for the blog, Laughing in Disbelief. And then I did that comedy short. And here I am. I know, it was the shortest. It was. That was like a record for crap. That's what that was. That was I mean, if I had a cat, the cat would do better at Jenga than that last time. I don't even know what I was doing. Shame, eternal shame, nothing but shame. One of the quotable quotes from Henry V. Da, 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 da. Yeah, you know, trying to see the good in people, man. Drop back and punt. That's exactly me. I gotta just drop 10, right? I just gotta drop 10 and chill a bit and get myself centered, get my zen on, right? Well, I hope so. I hope he goes to jail. I heard or saw a story that Lara, L-A-R-A, is that how you pronounce it? Lara Bush is thinking about going for a Senate seat. Lara Bush, no, Lara Trump, I'm sorry. Lara Trump is going for a Senate seat. It is inevitable for as many games you have played. That is true. You're right. It is. I have to remind myself that there is something called regression to the mean, right? And so you got a couple of good games under your belt, Andy. It isn't guaranteed that you're going to have a bunch of crap games, but statistically speaking, there's a good chance of that happening. I first heard about regression towards the mean, not in statistics class, but rather in the Freakonomics book, the original Freakonomics. And they were talking about, I believe, the Sports Illustrated phenomenon in which a person, a sports figure, is on Sports Illustrated and then suddenly their career tanks or their stats start tanking. And that is an example of regression towards the mean. Oh yes, well thank you, Blazing Pope, for helping me out here. Yes, I would like to think that the reason why I've been doing such a crap job today is because of earthquakes. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. Sure, earthquakes. Yeah. Well, getting Trump's assets confiscated, that would be that'd be the greatest gift of all. All right. This is a confidence builder, Jenga Tower now. This is just to get my confidence back. I will say one thing about this, about the home, the building that I live in now, the building that I'm in now. You wouldn't mind confiscating his money? Yeah, I hear you with that, Blazing. See, now that looks like it was about to drop too. I don't know, man. I don't know. But what I've noticed about this is new construction, that the place that I'm living in now, and we live near a major street. And whenever I guess a truck, like a big truck, drives by in the next street over, the house shakes a little bit. The house shakes a little bit, and we don't plan to be living here only for a couple of years, and that's good. I mean, I don't think the house shaking this often is a good thing for the foundation, for the house itself. Trump owes more than he has assets. You're right about that, James Henry. He has just been able to do, like I've said before on the show, his one gift is being able to make one lie and then flip over, wait, and that'll get him to the next lie. That'll get him to the next lie. You know, it's like a virus. He's like a virus, right? It's like there's, to survive, they have to spread to other hosts. He has to go from one lie to the next lie. Otherwise, it all comes falling down. It all just comes crashing down. Yeah, he probably doesn't have a lot of cash. Let's hope so. Blazing. I mean, between the lawsuits that he's facing and the idea that he already has all these outstanding debts he has to pay off, and no one's going to loan him money. No one legit. Maybe the Russians might lend him money. I have no idea. Trump's college degree is as real as his bone spurs, indeed. James Henry, why aren't you a moderator on this channel? I don't even know why. We're going to make you a moderator right now. Add moderator. There you go. You should get your wrench now. All right. Sure. Look at that. Oh, did I tell you what I gave my girlfriend for Valentine's Day? I don't think I did. We're not big gift givers for Valentine's Day. You know, I gave her a nice card. She gave me a nice card. And maybe I'll show you the gift tomorrow. But I'll tell you about the gift now. It is a it's a roll of toilet paper. It's a roll of toilet paper, and on each sheet there is it says "I love the shit out of you," and has a little poo symbol there. So it says "I love the shit out of you," and that was my gag gift to her for Valentine's Day. She loved it. Well, at least she told me she loved it. She hasn't killed me in my sleep or anything like that. So yeah, dude, I agree with you. The idea that Trump getting intel briefs is absurd, unless it's fake information. Now, if I was going to be, I would see this as a great opportunity to give Trump false information and see what he does with it. Yeah, give Trump false information and see if that bubbles up somewhere else. Now that would be magic. That would be a lot of fun. One thing was the impeachment, a conviction there would only prevent him from running again. Yeah, true. But a conviction in criminal court would do that too. That'd be sweet. Yeah, so I would definitely give him a daily intelligence briefing. It would just be full of misinformation. You're a brave man, Andy. My girlfriend would butcher me if I gave her that. Yeah. Well, my girlfriend knows I'm poor. She has a good heart to her, but she knows I am poor. And, in a lot of ways, she is not a materialist either. What I gave her for her birthday was probably one of the least expensive presents I've ever given anyone, but I've spent the most time and work on that present. Her birthday was back in November, and what I gave her, right, was a bottle, and I found this on Amazon, and the bottle had all these little capsules in it, like you would take medicine in, right? And in each capsule there'd be a little piece of paper, and you could write a note, something on this little piece of paper, wrap it back up, and put it in the capsule and put it in the bottle, so that the idea is that daily or whenever she wants, she would be able to pick up a capsule from the bottle, open it up, and see a message I wrote to her from a way back. And like I said, I had something like 100 capsules. I had to separate, unscroll the little paper, write very small, roll it back up, put in the capsule, put it back. And it was, like I said, one of the least expensive presents I ever got anyone, but it took me so long to actually work on it. It was one of the most satisfying gifts I think that I've ever given. And like I said, she every once in a while she'll bring it up. She'll talk about a capsule that she just opened. Oh, look at that. blazing. I would give him false information, but stuff like that, the Biden is getting to build an even better and bigger wall than Trump. Yeah, and Mexico actually pays for it. Yeah, it was a good gift. It was a good gift. They say the thought counts. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. This middle part seems kind of tough. Oh, I also made my girlfriend crepes in the morning on Valentine's Day. So that was part of our celebration. We saw Casablanca on TV. This wobbling tower of Andy's apartment, indeed. We saw Casablanca. She hadn't seen Casablanca ever. She's never seen it all the way through, and so we saw Casablanca on Valentine's Day, which is an incredible movie. I hadn't seen it for quite a while, and it's like, wow, how iconic that movie is. So many quotes, so many movie moments in that film. A friend of mine bought his girlfriend condoms for Valentine's, but it did not turn out the way he hoped. Some people never learn. Well, at least hopefully she didn't use them with somebody else. Yes, creeps. She was mad ASF, I would imagine. Condoms for Valentine's Day. Yeah. I think that's the trick, right? Is to gift giving, is understanding the other person, right? So um, if you're on the spectrum, for an example, that's difficult in case you are on the spectrum, because the thing is, it's like it's difficult to think about how other minds work. Being very socially awkward at a young age, I figured out that one of the things I needed to do was to figure out how other people's brains work or other minds work, so I can interact with them. Oh yeah. Well, pizza is love unto itself, blazing. A good pizza is a wonderful thing. Buying a book is always good. True enough. True enough. But what I've discovered is, if you, I mean, being a geeky guy myself and having dated geeky people in the past, I would tell non-geeks about the present I would give my significant other that I was dating, and they would be like, "Why would you give him that for?" Like one year, I was dating this girl who was doing being a nurse. She was training to be a nurse, and so I got her some of these. I think they were prints from Galen. Maybe I don't know. It was some anatomical woodcutty kind of framed prints that I found at an antique store, and they were pretty cool actually. And she loved them. I was explaining the gift to a non geeky woman, and she did the international sign of disgust, the nose wrinkle, and it's like, yep, I would not have gotten that gift for you if we were dating. Oh, my problem is my girlfriend is much richer than I am. Yeah. I understand. I've had there's been class related issues too in my relationships. Both ways, actually, both ways. I've been on that end of the stick and on the other end of the stick as being in the higher class and being of the lower class, and it's weird. Let me tell you, it's just weird. Yeah, it's difficult. Um, what it is that I think, money, much like conflict, it reveals character, right? If you have money, if you don't have money, it reveals character about how you go about your business and what you do with your time and how do you decide to spend the resources that you do have. I'll tell you this story about dating, right? Andy's, this is more like adventure time here. Andy's talk time. I have a roommate, but she eats canned food, and you had me going there for a minute, Blazing. You had me going there for a minute. Um, I was on this date. This is, before, of course. This is in between girlfriends, of course, and post divorce. And I met up with this girl at a bar. Nice girl, nice woman. And we're literally just like walking out of the bar. We're making out on the street, basically, but yeah, we're making out. My tongue's down her throat, her tongue's down my throat. Things are going well. And then she asks, because my car is parked across the street. So we're on one side of the street. The car is on the other side of the street. And she goes, "Is that your car?" And my car is the 2007 Toyota Corolla. It is not a great car, and it shows. It isn't like it's in pristine condition either. And I go, "Yeah, that's my car." Never heard from her again. Never heard from her again. I tell her not to spend money on me, but she doesn't listen. Yep. How long have you been dating her, James Henry? How long have you guys been together? If you don't mind me asking. I think I told you guys that story when I was dating someone who was exceptionally didn't have it, like had negative money, didn't have a lot of money at all. And my joke when I was doing stand up was that I have a sexual fantasy about my girlfriend that she has health insurance. Always gotta laugh. 7 years. Wow. Yeah. Toyota is a good value for money. You're right. If I buy another car, when I buy another car, if it'll be another Corolla. Unless I hit um, you know the lottery or my next job actually pays me money. Not that my other jobs haven't paid me money, but they haven't paid me a lot of money. That's the thing about working in human services, working with people who have disabilities. You're not going to get paid a lot of cash. 7 years, yeah, 7 years, 7 years. Well, my girlfriend and I have been together for 2, and I think the most difficult time I had in terms of the class issues was probably within the first 6 months. Within the first 6 months, that's when we had the most class issues. But now I think I'd be able to wrap my head around them. And the thing is, in some relationships, those class issues don't go away. I've been in some like 2, 3 year relationships that the class issues never really disappeared. I don't need a car. I live in a town where it's center. Oh, bikes. That's good. You know, I mean, I live right now in an area that's very walkable, and my goal is to actually get a job within walking distance of where I live. The major reason why I need a car is to go get my kid, right, from her mother's house, which, you know, I could easily borrow my girlfriend's car too. So my goal in my plan, let me tell you about my plan to become car independent or more independent from a car than now, is to get a job that I can walk to. Like I said, I live in a pretty urban environment. I should be able to find some kind of work within walking distance. Alrighty. Oh, it's her love of luxury, huh? Yeah, yeah, James Henry. That stuff. It's baffling that human services like that don't play well. Yeah, yeah. I've heard that they pay better in other countries. There was a gentleman I was working with years ago from England, and he came over here for some reason. I guess he wanted to come over here. It wasn't from Ireland. One of those two places. And my apologies to the Irish for confusing England and the Republic. But he was over here, and he's like, "Yeah, back home, this is a real job. I mean, you get real living wages for working with people who have disabilities. But here, no, you don't. You get paid like trash. In all reality, you get paid like trash. But it is, yeah, yeah. It's her level of luxury, wasting money. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's tough. What has put a strain, not in this relationship, but in other relationships I've been in, what has put a strain, and this is when I was the one who had more money than the person I was with. What has put a significant strain in the relationship is when I was saying no to things, like the other person would want to do things. And it's like, yeah, you know, and I don't have a lot of money. Anyone knows that I don't have a lot of money. I mean, I've just been able to save up money, and I'm not cheap. You can ask people. I'm not cheap. I contribute to causes. I help people out. But in my everyday life, I'm very happy with not owning a lot of stuff and not spending a lot of money. So when I was dating or in a relationship um, with someone who didn't have the same kind of background or being as prudent with their money as I was, that created problems. You know, and I would even say considerable problems too. All right, I got to look at this from another angle. Uh, Funny thing, switching gears a little bit, I saw Robert M. Price, um, you know, the biblical scholar, the atheist scholar there. I saw Robert M. Price the other day on a documentary about H.P. Lovecraft. Now, I know that Price loves his H.P. Lovecraft. I didn't expect to see him on a documentary about H.P. Howard Phillips Lovecraft. So it was a nice surprise. Chat disconnected. I like safaris and she likes 5-star hotels. Yeah, yep, yep. I will say this about getting older. I have made peace with myself that I have aged out of going to hostels, for an example. I don't think my back can handle the hostel lifestyle. HOS, nope, that's not going to work. HOSTEL. Um, True enough, Tobin. Yeah, it's I mean, but there are worse problems to have, definitely. But I can feel it. I can feel it. Class issues are tough to navigate from either way. Oh, magic! Just like that, magic. Let's see how far we can get this up. Oh, hey, there we go. Camera's working better here. Give us some perspective. I will tell you this. What's interesting about class is that one of my ex-girlfriends, she started making real money, like good money too, while we were in a relationship together. So she started off as being not doing too well, and then she got another job, and her family started hitting her up for money because it got leaked. It got leaked that she had cash, and that was weird, seeing her having to deal with that. This is what I tell my kids about money. Well, one of the things I tell my kids, actually, I talk to my kids quite a bit about money because it's the United States of America, and the number one reason why people go bankrupt is because of health bills. That being said, and that's one of the things probably that I tell them the most. I aspire to become a millionaire. I aspire not to be destitute. That's what I aspire to be. I aspire to have. Oh, no. Oh, does this count? Does this count? What if I'm able to save it? You can't save it, Andy. You just got to let it go. But it's in critical care. Look at this. See? I imagine it would be cheating if I went on from here. This officially was going to fall. So I'm going to, instead of collapsing it, I'm just going to take it apart. How's that? I mean, that's going to, unless you want to hear the crash. I mean, I guess people do like to hear the crash. It is somewhat satisfying, and we're down to the last few minutes. So, there we go. Alrighty. So, hey, so that's got a couple of towers in. We shared some laughs, some fun. I was entertained. I'll tell you that for an hour. Tomorrow, 9 to 10, news. I'll probably do another post on my blog, Laughing in Disbelief. I have to figure out about something funny to write. And then I have to figure out a new comedy short. I still got some stuff to work on for the Medium. I got a lot of work to do. And I should really try to find a job. I should try to find a job and figure out how to get vaccinated. And I have a lot of things to do. I hope everyone has good, safe, warm, since it's supposedly frigid, and I guess it's frigid in many areas of the country here in the States. And money should be used to make more money. Yeah, I agree. This is one of the things one of my thoughts about money is that money isn't going to buy you happiness, but it's a good insurance policy against misery. That's what it is. So money, it may not buy you happiness, but it's a good insurance policy against misery. And sometimes that's all you can hope for, right? All right, everyone. 9 o'clock tomorrow. If you haven't seen my new comedy short, freezing here. Yeah. If you haven't seen my new comedy short, please do check it out. It's a simple 1-minute bit. If you could hit the like button, that would be fantastic. That does help in the algorithm. It does. So thanks. So take care, everyone. Be strong. Oh.